You've got to ask yourself, what if the most interesting, most compelling character in one of the greatest stories ever told was actually the villain? Well, today, we're jumping headfirst into John Milton's Paradise Lost, an absolutely epic tale of cosmic war, unbreakable pride, and the one single choice that changed, well, everything.
So here's how we're going to break this incredible story down. First, we'll start in the fiery depths of hell, where a new war is being planned. Then, we'll get a look at the beautiful, brand new world of paradise. After that, we'll witness the fateful moment with the forbidden fruit. And finally, we'll see what kind of world humanity inherited after the fall.
All right, so picture this. Our story kicks off not in heavenly light, but in fire and shadow. An army of rebellious angels has just lost a massive war against God. They've been totally defeated and thrown into a fiery abyss. They wake up, still immortal, but completely lost, trying to make sense of this horrifying new reality.
And at the heart of this defeated army is their charismatic leader, Satan. In this one line, it tells you everything you need to know about him. Even though he's surrounded by torment, his pride is just unbreakable. He's not interested in apologizing. Instead, he spins his damnation as a twisted kind of freedom. And right there, that single, defiant choice sets up the central conflict for the entire poem. Now, Milton's vision of hell is seriously terrifying. It's not just a bunch of fire. No, it's a prison where the flames don't actually create light. Instead, they create what he calls a darkness visible, a kind of anti-light that only exists to show you more and more suffering. It's a place of pure psychological torture.
But Satan isn't one to just sit around and mope. Not for long, anyway. He pulls his legions together out of a lake of fire and calls a big meeting in his brand new palace, which he calls Pandæmonium. And the question on the floor is a big one. What now? How do we keep this war against God going?
And inside this council, ideas start clashing. You've got Moloch, the tough guy, who just wants to go for another all-out attack. Then there's Belial, the smooth talker, who says, hey, maybe we should just lay low and get used to this. Mammon chimes in, suggesting they just forget heaven and build their own kingdom right there in hell. But then, Beelzebub gets up to speak, and he changes the whole conversation.
Now, Beelzebub is really just voicing what Satan's been secretly thinking all along. He suggests a new, much sneakier kind of revenge. Forget fighting God head-on. Why not go after what he loves most? Why not corrupt his newest, most favored creation, humanity? And boom, the council loves it. The plan is set, and Satan himself says he'll be the one to undertake the dangerous mission.
So Satan's got his mission, but getting there? Whoa, it's a journey of its own. He has to break out of hell, travel through this formless, swirling abyss of chaos between the worlds, and finally, after this long, exhausting trip, he sees it. A beautiful new world, just hanging there like a jewel in space.
And the contrast is just stunning. I mean, think about where he just came from, that darkness visible. And now he's looking at paradise, a place of perfect beauty, endless spring, and total innocence. It's so perfect that even the roses grow without any thorns. It's a world completely untouched by pain. And who's living in this perfect place? Adam and Eve. Of course, they were made in God's image, and they live in complete harmony with each other and with nature. Life is good. Their chores are actually joyful, and they only have one rule. Just one. Don't eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's it. Simple, right? So as Satan spies on Adam and Eve, watching their innocent love, he's hit with this wave of absolute agony. He has this terrible realization that it doesn't matter where he goes. He can't escape hell because he is hell. The torment is inside him. And that moment, standing there in paradise, just solidifies his mission. He's going to destroy the happiness that he can never, ever have again. Okay, so the plan moves ahead. Satan disguises himself as a serpent, a clever, subtle animal, and he starts slithering through the garden, looking for the perfect opportunity. And he finds it. He sees Eve working by herself for a little while, separated from Adam. This is his chance. And this is where Satan is just a master manipulator. He doesn't threaten her. He uses flattery and some very clever, twisted logic. He claims he's eaten the fruit, and that's how he, a simple animal, learned to talk and reason. Then he plants that first little seed of doubt. He basically says, God isn't trying to protect you, he's trying to keep you down. Eat this, and you'll be just like him. And Eve is completely mesmerized. I mean, from her perspective, the serpent's logic seems pretty solid. Here's living proof. He ate the fruit,
And he didn't die. He actually got smarter. So why would God want to keep wisdom from them? What could be so bad about knowing more? And in that moment, she's weighing the serpent's convincing argument against God's one unexplained rule.
And then, it happens, the moment that changes everything. Eve reaches out, takes the fruit, and she eats it. Milton writes that in that single instant, the entire earth felt the wound, and all of nature groaned in sorrow. The fall has officially begun.
Now, when Eve goes and tells Adam what she's done, he's horrified. He literally drops the bouquet of flowers he was making for her. But here's the key difference. Adam is not deceived. He knows exactly how bad this is. So his choice isn't based on a trick. It's based on love. He just can't bear the thought of losing her. So he decides right then and there to share her fate. He eats the fruit too.
And the change is immediate. It's like a switch is flipped. Their innocence, gone, replaced by guilt. That perfect, unashamed love, it's replaced by lust and, for the very first time, shame. And maybe the most tragic part of all, that perfect unity they had, it shatters into a nasty argument as they immediately start blaming each other.
So eventually, God comes down to the garden. But you'd expect thunder and lightning, right? That's not what happens. He comes walking in the cool of the evening, and his first words aren't an accusation. They're just a sad, gentle question. Adam, where are you? It forces Adam to face up to what he's done and who he's become.
Then comes the judgment. The serpent is cursed to crawl on its belly forever. Eve is told she'll experience pain in childbirth. Adam is sentenced to a life of hard work, having to sweat and toil for his food from the now cursed ground. And for both of them, and for all of humanity to come, the biggest punishment of all. They're no longer immortal. They will now face death.
But before they're kicked out, the angel Michael comes to Adam. He gives him this fast-forward vision of the future of humanity. And honestly, a lot of it is brutal. Adam sees murder, war, disease, all of it. But, and this is a big but, woven into all that darkness is a glimmer of hope. Michael gives him a prophecy, a promise that one day a redeemer, a greater man, will come and finally set things right.
And then, the time comes. Adam and Eve have to leave their home. They're led out through the eastern gate, and when they look back, they see angels descending and a giant flaming sword guarding the way back to the tree of life. The door to paradise is officially closed. There's no going back.
And this is the final, unforgettable image of the entire poem. They're not in a perfect, manicured garden anymore. The whole, wide, unknown world is in front of them. They've lost paradise, that's true, but they still have each other. And so, hand in hand, they slowly walk out of Eden and take their very first steps into human history.
And that just leaves us with this one huge question to think about. See, some people call this story the fortunate fall. The idea is that, yeah, they lost their innocence, but in return, humanity gained knowledge, the ability to repent, and the promise of a kind of grace they never would have needed in the garden. So was it all just a terrible mistake? Or was it a painful but maybe necessary step in a much, much bigger story?